and we just need to understand how to make it work.
So, with that being said, Nadia, um, how it really works depends on like what truly is a mindset. Like, how would you define a mindset?
Yeah, actually, to me, mindset is a lifestyle. Mindset is a way of thinking. Mindset is the attitude. And mindset is, it's really what differentiates successful people from failure people. You have seen in your life, and I think everybody listen to this have experienced this in their lives. You know, you always gonna find people, the same exact situation showing up in front of two different people. You always gonna see someone who has a problem for every solution, and you always gonna see someone who is finding a solution for every problem. It's just, when I say it's an attitude, it's a way of living. you know we need to understand that mindset is something that you build. It's the same as a muscle. If you want to build muscles and you want to have a fit body, what do you have to do? You sign up for a gym, or maybe you do exercise, you eat in a certain way, and it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. Okay. With mindset is the same. Some people, maybe they try, maybe they bought a course, maybe they hired a mentor, or maybe they listen to a podcast. The thing is that unless they understand that doing the same things over and over and over again is not bringing different results, and this is something said from Albert Einstein. It's crazy to think that just because you do one thing different and then you keep doing the same exact things over and over and over, you cannot expect different results. So mindset is a I told you, to me, is a way of living. Once you understand the real power of your mind and what you are capable of, nothing is going to be the same again. And to build that is always through repetition. We have been raised to believe certain things, but the thing is that this is not what we choose to believe. Okay? So what we believe usually, as I mentioned, is built up from 0 to 7 years old, because the conscious mind is still not formed in the baby. So the baby has just the subconscious mind, and everything that the parents they're gonna say, and everything that the school is gonna say, and everything that the surrounding and the environment is gonna tell them, they just take it for true. So for them, it's just that's the reality. So when they grow up, if you try to tell them something different, they're gonna tell you is impossible. Not because they really believe it's impossible, but because they've been growing up with certain kind of beliefs. Now, my question is, if everything that they have been teaching you is working for you nowadays, I mean, I'm the first one to say that's great. I mean, keep going. That means that you are on the right track. But, we experience today a lot of people with anxiety, a lot of people with fears, any kind of fear, a lot of people with doubts, and, not being at ease with their body and with their life. And yet they still complain that they are not having the results that they want. At the same time, they are doing nothing to try to change that result. So it's a little bit controversial, but everything, as always, starts with the mind. And the more you reinforce the ideas that you of the outcome that you're trying to accomplish, the more those things will show up in your life. Not because it can be also some kind of magic, but it's because you are conditioning your mind for success. So that's mindset for me. When you repeat and you condition and you don't accept the reality for what it is, but you're going to be aware, and you are aware that you can create the reality that you want. And that means that you can be, you can have, and you can do whatever you set your mind to.
So, with that being said, now, Nadia, uh, now with trying
Yeah.
to attain a mindset, how do you attain a successful and a positive and a fulfilling
Mhm.
mindset?
Okay. So I like this question because, I got asked this question quite a lot. How to build a successful mindset? Okay. The answer is, I think, is pretty easy. And I think I mentioned also in this podcast. But just we in our daily life we run and we have all kind of things. We have jobs, we have families, we have kids, we have friends, we have social life, we have professional life, personal life. We have all these different areas in our lives. So the thing is that if you're happy with your results, that means that you have already a successful mindset. And that's what Bob Proctor calls unconscious, competent, unconscious competent. That means that you do something that you don't even know how you do it, but your mind is set up for success. So that's people that they are having success. Sometimes they don't even know what they are doing to have success. In reality, their mind is programmed for success. But then a lot of people, they are not having the results that they want. And again, they are not willing to change, or maybe they are not willing to try something different to change that situation. They just accept circumstances and they just accept things happening in their lives, and they're just taking that for granted. And they keep stuck in this loop over and over and over and over, and sometimes for a lifetime, until something happen and then they start to change something. Or in some cases they will never change it, and they will just keep complaining and complaining and complaining. But the reality is that, super simple example. If there is someone overweight and they want to change their body to to a fit body, and they keep complaining about their fat, or maybe they are overweight and all these things, but then they are not willing to understand what it takes to get the results that they want. And sometimes it might be easier, sometimes it might be harder. It all comes down to which price are you willing to pay to achieve your goals. And in the case of someone overweight, it might be eating in a certain way, it might be exercising in a certain way, it might be hiring a personal trainer to keep track of the results that they are getting, and then understand if they have to adjust it, or maybe if they are on the right track. you know a successful mindset is built upon repetition and conditioning. The more you repeat to yourself something, the more it becomes reality. And if you have a lot of limiting beliefs telling yourself that you cannot do this and you cannot do that and you cannot become wealthy, you believe that you cannot become healthy, or maybe you cannot have a perfect relationship, guess what? You are just asking, not with your words but with your feelings, you are just asking for that result. So the key, as I say, is to change the thoughts and to change the ideas at the source. So once you do that, the reality, you start to see really like very small changes every single day, that in the long term they will make a huge difference. So yeah, I think repetition is the key to uh, to achieve anything you
So,
want
to
in your
to
life.
to attain this
So
successful mindset, now, how would someone go about maintaining, this mindset? Like, say, you're trying to have this mindset, and then while you're achieving this, say, later down the road, like, you're somebody dies, like your grandfather, or say, I don't know, you lose an arm or like your wife gets shot
Mhm.
in the face, something crazy like that. You've already tried
Mhm.
so much to achieve this mindset. Now you've been going at it for a certain
Mhm.
amount of time, and then all of a sudden, like, huge, like, disappointment, like, life obstacle just gets thrown at
Mhm.
you. Like, how do you, like, maintain that mindset?
Yeah. So basically, also this is something that we are taught to think that, everything that happen is not good and is not bad. Everything that happen is just something that happened. Then it's our perception that makes that thing look bad or look good. Sometimes, when we have some loss or maybe something bad, of course there is sadness, there is disappointment, there is questioning. You're like, why is this happening to me? I mean, what I'm doing nothing wrong. Why this happening to me? The thing is that, as I mentioned, we need to deal with that, and we need to understand that we always, always, always have a choice. So when something happens, it might be super, super important, or it might be less important. Also, there it comes down to mindset. Is how you see, how you see things. I see people every day that saying, maybe they I don't know, they get a ticket because they park in the wrong way. And then they start to say words like, oh my God, this is a tragedy. This is something really shocking me. First of all, there is cause and effect. If you are parking in the wrong place, or maybe where you cannot park, I mean, there is chances that you can get a fine. So it's not like a huge surprise. And then also, we have choices. So we can choose, we have the ability, as human beings, we are the only one, how to say, people, the only humans alive on this planet that we can create our environment. Animals, they don't have this opportunity. Animals, they already born in the environment that is good for them. We, as human beings, we can create the environment that we want. And it all comes down to choices. We always have choices, and we can choose to look at things in a good way, or we can choose to look at things in a bad way. Now, what we choose is usually, you see, this is also, this is patterns. If you uh, grow up in a family that is always complaining about everything that is happening, you're gonna build these patterns in your mind and in yourself as well. Not because you wanted to, but because you were conditioned to think in a certain way. At the same time, if you see some
So wait,
people, if you
just to
see
stop you
some
really
people.
quick, because I think this is important. What if someone who's listening
Mhm.
right now, like a younger kid or somebody, they're growing up through this, and like they're not in a nourishing, positive environment. They're actually, in a environment that, like, soils them and actually does not benefit them. Like, what would you say to them to, like, keep their mindset away from their immediate influences?
Mhm. Yeah, we are living in this era that, to me, is the most powerful era that we have ever lived. If you think about it, Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, or maybe so many people from the past, they became so big, and they had much less than we have now today. Today, I understand, because this is pretty common. Um, the society that we are surrounding ourselves, that we are surrounded, or maybe sometimes even families, they tell us what is right for us. The thing is that, we should know, and we know deep inside what we really want to do and what we really want to have and experience in our lives. Now, if you are growing in a family that is somehow putting some obstacles in your way, what we can do is that, today we have Instagram, we have podcasts, we have Facebook, we have YouTube. you know is full of people. Even someone listening to this can take this exact recording and start to act and to implement the things that we are talking right now, and start to see how they can see